Gods and goddesses in training, welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. To be honest with you, I don't know why I'm shooting today's video, but I know that it's very crucial. It's very important for people to listen to this and understand it, because these are some revelations that I've come to after channeling Melek, the peacock angel of the Yazidi tradition. So last Thursday I had channeled Melek or Tawusi Melek, and the energy was so potent and peaceful. So I wanted to try to break it down of what's really happening here, because I know that somehow, some way, the regent of the world, the lord of the world, Sanat Kumara, is associated with my higher self, which is then connected to the same oversoul as Vaiwamus. Now, this is from my own self-discovery and going deep into my inner world. It wasn't just overnight that I discovered this. And I'm also not a huge Blavatsky fan. I do like certain books like Masters in the Retreats, and I look into these different archetypes. Recently, I noticed that also my partner is connected to Lady Venus. I remember when I was younger, I got made fun of in a specific name, and I don't know why it triggered me, but probably because I was chubby at the time and they called me Sumo, okay? But if you take the word and you transliterate it, it's S-U-M-A-W. And if you spell that backwards, that's Wamus. And I kept seeing Wamus like this showing up in my life. Later on, I discovered it's Vaiwamus. And that was the download that I needed in order for me to actually move forward. So the ancients actually knew this mother and sun combination, this understanding of the Mother Earth, and then there's the sunlight or the sun. Some say Melek is also an emanation, a certain aspect of Vishnu or Krishna, and that Melek was brought from the 7 rays of the rainbow. Now this 7 symbology keeps coming up. The 7 archangels, the 7 Kumaras. Even sometimes we imagine this rainbow dragon or serpent, again connecting with Ryan G's Akura symbology, as well as Quetzalcoatl, and connecting with the Pleiades because Murugan, or the son of Shiva, Skanda, also known as Kartikeya, rides on the peacock. And then of course there's the story of Amitabha Buddha, who rides on a peacock. That's in the heavenly realm, I believe, of Shukavati, right? But then there's Shambhala, and Sanat Kumara said to be the leader there. Krishna had a son named Pradumna, also that connects to this particular being. So the 7 Dhyani Buddhas, the 7 Elohim, the 7 archangels, what is with this 7, right? I started to realize this, that what if the 7 chakras were all manifestations of Source, right? Like, what if your root chakra was a completely different universe? Then you have your sacral chakra, completely different universe. And the way that they interplay, all these dimensions interplay together, creates your greatest possible self and your greatest spiritual path. Now, of course, I'm a peak performance shaman, okay? I think very differently about certain things. I think Sanat Kumara was also told to stop his work in Venus and come over to become the solar logos of this planet, to protect and guide it using the teachings of Venus, which is the compassionate teachings. Though Venus was called the planet of love, we can also understand it as having very high spiritually advanced technology. Now, even if you take the peacock angel story and you link it back into world's history, you'll find that there is this person called the Green Man, and the Green Man is this nature man. And we find as it evolves throughout the times, it also goes into Maitreya Buddha and Christ myths. So the Ancient of the Days, the Lord of the World, these were very common titles for a lot of beings, but especially for our enigmatic friend, Sanat Kumara, whose name actually translates to mean the eternal, I believe, mortal that is difficult to be mortal. Or so it's an immortal eternal, basically, is what his name means, and he is this everlasting childlike frequency, this youthful exuberance to him. So I found this fascinating, right? Just the repetition of 7, the constant exploration of this, and how we're looking forward to Sedona, Arizona, which is one of the vortexes, one of the epicenters of Sanat Kumara and Shiva and Skanda probably, and this peacock angel and Quetzalcoatl and the peacock angel and the peacock dragon and the, and it just keeps going. So it's like, yeah, that's the perfect place to be. I think it's taken me a while to understand all these pieces, these missing pieces for me. Now that I get it, now that I understand this energy, it feels so enriching, man. It feels like I can do anything. It feels like such a blissfulness that takes over my entire beingness. And I'm not like micromanaging the spiritual path anymore, I'm just fully trusting, letting go, understanding that I have clarity and a movement and a direction forward where I'm able to express myself, I'm able to understand others, and I'm able to truly share these wisdom teachings with all of you. And I'm very, very grateful for that. So if you feel like you are part of the 144,000 souls, by the way, it was said that Sanat Kumara brought 144,000 souls from Venus onto planet Earth. Okay, this is getting weirder, right? This lore is just getting weirder and weirder as I keep talking about it. But hey, we gotta embrace it. We gotta understand some myths overlap and are intricate, like the 7 heads of Kartikeya, and then the 7 heads in the Hopi tradition. So if you imagine the peacock angel, it is actually an androgynous being, right? It's not male, it's not female, because a peacock can be both male and female, right? And it's this understanding of this particular peacock's energy. If you're ever tuning into it, you're going to start to understand that it gives you this kind of Hieros Gamos energy, this understanding of God and Goddess within, and understanding the Holy Mother, Holy Father, which creates the eternal Son. Let me show you this image right here. Right? And so we need the parental love and that understanding to heal the inner child. And that's the way that I've understood this esoteric teaching. It's very practical for our healing. So imagine an eternal teenager with the vibe of an ancient guru. He's been seasoned, he's the head honcho of Shambhala. For Shambhala, just look up certain images of Shambhala and you'll notice that there's lots of interesting, fascinating stories and traditions of that, including the Bollywood movie Kalki, right, where they mention it. And of course, his wand is made out of orichalcum. I don't know if you guys know anything about orichalcum at all, but it's a metal that shows up in a lot of ancient writings and fantasy work. What if you are the angel? What if you were the peacock angel all along and you didn't know it, and you can actually tap into your own divine truth, your own inner beauty in such a way that is unmatchable, right? You will just win every single time if you know thyself. So every radiant ray, every plume of the peacock's feather. So understand that this looks like an eye, but it also is 5 colors, representing the 5 senses in Vigyan Bhairava Tantra. But as you start to go beyond the 5 senses, you start tapping into the 6th sense, or extrasensory perceptions, right? And so imagine a multiplicity of these behind the peacock. That means these are universes and worlds and these mystical realms associated with this Melek Taoist, this specific being, right? This portal of energy. And this is a very interesting way how East Asia overlaps with the Middle East. And we start to understand, because there are no peacocks there in the Middle East, right? The peacock is not something that is very easily seen around there in that climate. But they did have a peacock angel, so that goes to show you that there is something greater going on here. There is this hidden link. A lot of people put the Yazidis through genocide because they thought that they were demon worshippers and so forth. But after I channeled this energy, I felt this deep compassion, this deep peace, and I think it's actually the secret towards what if you understood, right, the story of the Bible of Adam and Eve differently. And actually, this particular angel was the victor. That would have changed the entire myth. That would have changed the entire story, now that you think about it, right? This is going deep, this is going very trippy, because it moves us to drop our preconceived notions of old stories like Atlantis and all these, Platonic myths, and just become real with yourself. Because I've been talking about this seraphim, dragon soul, peacock angel, all this kind of stuff for a while now on this channel. And now if you go to this man, Mr. Pinkham, Amiru Pinkham, I believe his name is, he has a lot of books on this subject and even has a mystery school on this particular subject. So I find that really fascinating that someone else has gone this deep into this rabbit hole before. And though I'm a little bit hesitant towards, learning more, I'm starting to unravel that this is actually such a beautiful thing, a beautiful journey. And this is a chance for us. This is an encounter with the divine in many different ways. And we have to learn how to optimize this and get us these amazing downloads as the planet is changing and shifting in its frequency right now. We have to claim and reclaim our power back into our heart spaces. Let's go. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Thank you for watching us.